Hello everyone, my name is Julie Demi. I'm a Cambridge Certified English teacher and a teacher trainer. In these sessions I share with you how to do well in Delta Module 1, 2 and 3, and I provide you with some useful tips and tricks on how to do well in CELTA as well, something what might be helpful and save your time and money. Alright, well, I think that we are good to go. And why I decided to record this video, because I received some comments, and something what you asked me in the comments was whether you need to do CELTA before DELTA, what's the difference between these two programs, and when actually you need one and when you need another. Well, I would say that yes, there is a lot of frustration and misunderstanding sometimes. In fact, you can be frustrated which program to choose, but it depends first of all on your background, your experience, and it also depends on your final goals. CELTA helps you to become a teacher without any particular experience in teaching, or with some experience in teaching, but when you want to master it. It may happen that you have your bachelor or master degree in some particular subject which doesn't relate to teaching, and then you understand that you really want to deep dive into teaching career, and then it might be a really good idea to start with CELTA. If your educational background is in teaching, then I would say that DELTA might be a better option, and then you don't really need CELTA in order to become a teacher, because you're actually already a teacher and probably you already teach and you have some practice. If you have at least 2 years of experience teaching people, you can apply for DELTA program. But if you ask me, I would definitely say that it's better to have more than 2 years of experience, because that's something what can help you with understanding of the methodology and some particular principles. It can also be less stressful for you since you'll have some confidence, and at the same time you can self-reflect on the situations that you already had, and it might be one of the key reasons why it's better to have at least 5 years of experience, 5 years of teaching experience before you do DELTA. But it's my personal humble opinion, and you can listen to it or you can just do what you feel like and what is better for you. I would say that the more experience you have, the better it is. Again, it doesn't really mean that you need to teach for over 10 years in order to do DELTA. No, that's not the thing. But let's say when you have more than 2 years of experience, that's definitely one of those cases when you can think about DELTA seriously, and it can help you in your further career. As for CELTA, I would say that CELTA in my case was a really good choice, because in my case I had my master in management and I didn't have anything related to teaching, but I was obsessed with teaching, and I started teaching long time ago when I was at the university. When I realized that I really liked teaching, I was already in my 5th year of education, and then I decided that probably I will do some other courses. I had some plans related to teaching. I decided that the first step in my case would be doing CELTA, and then I had a big desire to do DELTA. When you have a choice to do CELTA or to do DELTA, you need to think carefully what your final goal is. In my case, I knew that I would like to become an instructional designer. I would like to train the trainers, and my main goal was to share the experience not only with students but also with teachers, to make teaching in general more accessible, more interesting, more engaging, and definitely more effective. That's something what crystallized my intention to do DELTA, and I understood that I really needed it. And when I was doing CELTA, it definitely helped me with my confidence in teaching, and I understood a lot of different methods and techniques, how to plan the lesson carefully and what the objectives were. If you have your MA or BA in linguistics, you are more likely to be familiar with these terms, but in my case I was more aware of the strategies and how to break the ice, how to establish rapport with different people. But I lacked some teaching experience. After my graduation, I decided that I would like to found an English school, and I was really ambitious about that. I gathered a really good team, and then we started working together. And At some point, I understood that I wanted to teach. I wanted to understand how to teach well, not just by my inner gut, but mainly having all necessary skills in order to provide learning experience. I really wanted to create something memorable, something interesting, and something what might engage the students and bring about positive results. CELTA really helped me to understand how to plan well, how to plan effectively, and how to develop different skills. It's a really practical program, and it teaches you how to establish rapport with students, how to give the right instructions, and that's actually something what helps you become more effective and efficient in the classroom. If you live in some remote areas, nowadays it's possible to do both CELTA and DELTA online, which is great. If you have your prior experience and also background in education, it might be a better option for you to do DELTA. If your background lies in different fields, then don't worry at all. You do have a really good alternative. You can do CELTA and you can nail a really good job having a CELTA certificate. When you do DELTA, you can teach children or adults, it doesn't really matter. You can do DELTA and you can master your skills over there. So DELTA consists of 3 parts, 3 modules, and you can do all of them right now online. If you do CELTA online, and if it's an intensive course, it can take you from 4 to 6 weeks. If you do part-time CELTA, it can take you starting from 7 weeks and longer. Depending on the institution, you can see that they offer different options, and mainly it can take about 2 months or 2 months and a half. Your input sessions are provided online, and you have your sessions where you teach different students and you teach your students in Zoom. DELTA consists of 3 parts. The first module is an exam, and it checks your understanding of the methodology and approaches in linguistics, the history of ELT, and also understanding of systems and skills. So that's a really solid course, and it helps you understand or brush up on your knowledge that you've probably had before at the university. It's a very dense program and it requires a lot of efforts. I do have a lot of videos dedicated to DELTA Module 1, Paper 1 and 2 in my videos, which you can see right here. If you have any questions on how to do DELTA Module 1 offline or online, I would be very glad to share my experience because I did both and I have something to share with you. Then you have Module 2. Module 2 is more practical, where you demonstrate your skills of teaching, and when you have a chance to try out different approaches, different methods and different ways of planning. It's definitely a really detailed approach where you write your assignments and you do have a lot of typing, reading and discovery. You discover a lot of interesting things, read a lot of articles related to the topic, and of course you observe other peers, your colleagues, other DELTs, how they teach and what they do well. That's a great opportunity for you to develop your critical thinking and analyze which techniques work well, which techniques don't work well. That's the time when you self-reflect actively, and when you understand what is happening with your teaching, you have a chance to notice some gaps in your knowledge and teaching and fill it in with expertise and with suggestions from your tutors. I really liked DELTA Module 2 because it helped me to find amazing peers. Since that time, we've been together. We've launched our podcast on Spotify, and right now it's possible to listen to it. I will share the link down below. In Module 3, you need to write an assignment, and this assignment is either related to teaching and creating a course or management, and that's actually was my choice. I will talk about it in more depth a little bit later in my upcoming videos, and so far I hope that you have some understanding and probably it might be a really good choice for you. And the last thing that I would like to mention here, when you have a choice whether to do DELTA or CELTA, you need to think about your background first, about your aim, and you need to think about your experience that you have. Oftentimes some teachers tell me that in job descriptions the institutions write CELTA/DELTA. These are two different programs, and most likely you need to differentiate them. And, depending on the position that you're applying for, I would say that CELTA might be enough, and in some cases when you would like to become the head of studies, DELTA is a very good choice, and there you can see a lot of different things: how to become a better teacher, how to notice different things in teaching, how to provide feedback. When you decide to do DELTA or CELTA program, you have a pre-course task and it checks your eligibility. Okay, well, I hope that it was helpful, and I'm pretty sure that you'll make the right choice. If you see that you have any questions related to the requirements, please feel free to contact me, and see you in my upcoming video. Bye!